Well, hello, Kolbrun. Did I say your name right?
Yes, you did.
Good.
Kolbrún.
Yes. And I'd like to invite you to my interview, and I'd like to talk to you because
Thank you.
I seen you on YouTube, and I was listening to your videos there, and you have a way of bringing original thoughts to light. It's
Thank
very
you.
profound and deep material that you're discussing. And I know that you do many things. You're an artist, and you're a philosopher, you're even a poet, and you're a healer as well. People can see you for healings and readings. And you come from Iceland,
Yes.
is that right?
Yeah, yeah.
What was it like growing up in Iceland?
What can I say? Cold.
Cold, yes.
No,
yes.
I am very blessed.
Yes.
To being born in Iceland, because I feel that one of the reasons for why my soul chose to grow up in Iceland is because of the energy in my country, and that is what I use when I'm doing meditation or energy healing. I connect with my motherland.
Yes.
Because there is my element, and I've been saying to people, try to connect, even though it doesn't matter where you are on our planet. You can ground yourself everywhere, but it is a gift. The country that you are born, there is some reason for it.
Yeah.
So I feel it extremely, and my country is very powerful, full of fire and ice and hot waters and the fresh wind, and so I use it all, and I feel like my a lot of my knowledge comes through there, just to connect with my country, Iceland. Even though I moved to Spain.
Yes, you're in Spain
for a
now,
different
right?
reason. Yeah, I moved to Spain 6 years ago, a little bit more than that, because I felt like visionary Iceland was not my country.
No.
I felt like
You
I
wanted
belonged.
to be warmer, right?
I wanted to be warmer, yes. And also just I wanted to see a little bit, I just felt it was more natural for me, my soul, for me, to have like more green, big trees, rivers, valleys. It just a different. I didn't feel I recognized Iceland, but when I moved away to Spain, I felt like I recognized this area. So I am taking when I'm connecting, for example, when I'm meditating, I connect groundly with my country, and I see everything and I feel everything. But visionary, I connect with whatever I want to see. Yeah. So it's both of that. So that is one of the reasons why I moved. But of course, the cold.
So in where you are now, it was almost like. Was it almost like a past life memory of being there, or?
Well, I am not home yet. There is another space. Okay. There is another space, another place that I'm going to move over.
Is it on Earth?
There is another place on Earth that I'm going to, but there is exactly, yes, another space where I'm from, yeah. But on the Earth, there is, I've had visions for many years, and I haven't found that spot, but it's not where I am now. So I am kind of a gypsy, I'm always moving, and I don't feel like we need to be always at the same place or the same country or whatever. We are all like a family, and it doesn't necessarily needs to be the blood family. We can have families differently.
Yeah.
So yeah.
So just to let you know and let you off the hook, my people that listen to me, all of them know that we come in from some other place to come here to
Yeah.
raise the vibration of the planet. So that's why
Yeah.
I said, is it on Earth?
Yes, I got it. I got it. Well, I am one of those people, those humans or beings that have been missing. I have been feeling like I want to go home.
Yeah.
I don't feel so much I belong. So that is why I can't do this. That is why, even though I use the energy from my country, I am not there. I am ready to move around,
Yeah.
and I will in the future plant myself down and buy a house or something like that, where I will be maybe as an old woman. But I always have felt I didn't so much belong here. So I know what you mean, and
Yeah.
yeah, I've just
And
I
you,
have gone through that. I don't understand others. I don't understand so much why things are like this, why we are like this when we have the potentials to do so much more powerful things and higher our frequency.
and you are participating in shifting that on the planet. You're participating through your YouTubes, through your art, through your healing to facilitate that shift in vibration on this planet. So people get to see another part of themselves. Is that true?
Yeah, I sometimes I feel like I'm just holding the energy.
Mm-hmm.
So I can be alone. I've been more or less alone for many, many years.
Mm-hmm.
To work with my connection and relationships with another human being needs to be so good, connected with the energies, so you can flow together with more spiritual depth and awareness.
Yes.
I haven't found that person yet.
Mm-hmm.
So I've chosen to be just by myself, so I can really do my work. But with the connection of past lives, I have many other lives where I was doing exactly the same that I'm doing now. So I remember a few lives where I was only holding the energy, and two of them lives that I remember, I was only holding the energy for the whole life. So I didn't have any other, like what I'm doing now. I'm painting, I'm writing, I have 3 kids, I'm doing a lot of things, but I feel like this is a part of me to hold the energy as well, like so many of us. We are doing that by meditation, by doing manifestations. Yeah. So
the thing that is that I notice about you, just being in your presence, there's a healing. There's a healing. There's a communication that's taking place on more than one level when it comes to you. Like you're talking, yeah, that's what we're expected to do, but yet on another level, there's another that's it. There's another communication going on, where you're also broadcasting information for those that have the eyes and ears for it. It's a feeling I'm picking up. It's like a feeling of freedom, but yet expansion, silence.
Do you feel like you are a little bit connected, like you are in a water, not wet, but in a flow of water? Yeah. And sometimes people, if I want to give that to people, then I'm really raising the frequency up to perhaps connected with the 5th dimension, when everything is more floating and spontaneous. Nice. And I say it's like water, but it's not wet. So you can really feel the thickness. And some people get like, they start to feel like they are drunk, because they are so relaxed and stopped to be able to speak. And sometimes I'm like that when I'm talking with people. I'm like, ooh, you know, I slow down and just go with the flow. So go in the flow, I can say. But if that is what you felt, so that is
and so you know, the thing with this is that we have something called mirror neurons in our brain, and whenever we're focusing on somebody, we have a tendency to pick up more information, imitate that person, and through that avenue, people are picking up your vibrational frequency, and they're starting to go.
Exactly. Like they're drunk.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So, where did you learn that, or did you come in with that ability to raise people's vibrations this way? Covertly.
It had been building up for the last years. When I was a little girl, I felt like I wanted to put my hands over people.
Yeah.
I didn't understand why. I started to meditate also when I was little, like very small, sitting on the floor, taking my mind down, and I was just concentrating or getting my mind heavy. I didn't know what I was doing. It was just natural for me to do. About the healing, it's just the more confident I have, because I feel like unconditional love is the opening. Then it's the confidence to do it. And then the more people that have, you know, I'm also learning more about what to do through my students or through my clients. And when I talk to them afterwards, did you feel this? Did you know, so then I don't know, but it's more about the confidence and the intention of doing it. So
because it has to split it has to split the hypnosis that's going on. It has to kind of crack through and open up, like you're opening up the seas, to let that through. And so that confidence, to be there, and that confidence opens up that other avenue, that other state of being.
And also the thing is, when we have really open up and slowing down the channeling, and I mean the energies, the field that I am connected with is I feel very strong, and I am just like this myself, because I'm pushed around and very heavily, and I wake up in the middle of the night every night, just because of I feel this pressure in my palms and everywhere. What was I going to say? I'm also very easily interrupted.
Oh, that's very easily. That's they call that ADHD, dialed, and you're dialed into higher dimensions.
Yeah,
what it is.
I remember now what I was going to say. It's when we are really tuning in the channeling, there is no space for fear, because in the amygdala, for example, people know amygdala for the place of fear in the brain. But at the same time, amygdala is also where we get this in gamma state information from our esoteric field or DNA field or energy field or akashic field or whatever people want to say. And when we really open that up, it takes all the place of fear. Fear goes away.
Yeah.
So that is why when we have the confidence and we are fearless, it takes practice to really, really tune into this trust and confidence. And even though sometimes something scary happens, you know, it will not, it goes away. It goes away. So it doesn't matter what happens.
When we start visiting here, we start to learn very quickly that our awareness and where we put it is very powerful. We can become aware of fear, and it's going to manifest more fear. We put it towards love, and it's going to manifest more love. So when we get to this consciousness, because I talk about this in the work I do, is going to this God consciousness, dropping in to this, to here, and then going back to the back, there's a feeling as you add awareness to that area, it's almost like the wings come out. It's almost like there's this tingling sensation that starts to happen. And then, but I'm going to ask you, when you go into that state, do you notice how clear you can be as far as what is untruth and what is truth? It's like, it's very clear there, for me anyway. And it's very easy to go, like you're talking about with the fear, just go, nope. And then you're back to this, right? Back to that alignment. And that.
I don't even say no. I just go through it so quickly.
Yeah, yeah.
So I don't push it even away.
But you go through it. You go through it. You don't stay in the fear, right?
Yeah, exactly. It just goes.
Yeah.
So about the truth, for me, truth is there a truth?
It's a feeling.
I mean,
it's
my truth. Yeah, like for example, my truth is my truth, and yeah, I trust my intuition always.
Yes,
I do. Sometimes I really feel it, and I know this. I know my intuition. Sometimes when I am challenging for other people, for example, because you and I, we are talking because we are full of acceptance towards each other. Our heart space is totally open. We appreciate each other and we accept each other no matter what.
Yeah.
We are open. So when I am, for example, channeling for another, it needs time for me to open up the person so she can really have confidence in me and really accept what I'm saying. So then it comes to, I use tarot cards many times, because then I can let the people see the statement. Have you been through this recently? And this, yeah. And then people, woo, give me more. I trust you. I accept you.
Yeah.
So sometimes we need to trigger in, but sometimes when I'm starting, when the person is a little bit like, okay, what is going to happen? I trust my guidance. Then I don't know if it's true or not. Then I'm not connected with the truth or not. I have no idea. I just say what flows through me with the connection of the cards.
Yeah.
And I get the statement. So it's different. It's just.
Yeah. This this state that you go into then, and I don't know if you do an overview of what people are going through, and then you start channeling in information that's on your we both went into that place again and I lost my train of thought.
Yeah.
Okay. But when you go into that state, you're channeling in fresh information or a new perspective on the information. Like what I've seen on YouTube is that definitely, I can tell that your information isn't just simply regurgitated information that a lot of people are doing. They hear something and they go and record what they heard, but you're actually bringing it in and you're putting it together.
Are you talking about when I'm challenging for others?
No, I'm talking
just
about
when I am receiving. Yeah.
Receiving for your writings.
Yeah. I would say it's two ways. One of the way that started many years ago is very light, and you don't realize that is the purest challenge. You don't have to concentrate so much.
No.
You don't have to go so deep. And in the beginning, I was like, oh, you know, the music and everything. The music helps also, the frequency, special music that I use many times when I'm giving. But sometimes we are like really, really concentrating, waiting for answers. And we get them. But the purest channeling is like a wind that is so light. You think, no, this can't be. This was too quick. This was too light. Where did this come from? Where did I get this idea? But that is the most accurate. So it took me, of course, time to have confidence and the trust and believe that is what I want to follow. The lightness, the highest frequency, and that is not heavy.
Yeah.
But when I'm giving energy healing, that is thicker. That is different. When I am connecting with the field, and if a person has some kind of blockings, I need to connect with and pull away. That is different.
Yeah, no.
That is not like a channeling. That is clearing, and in a different way to higher the frequency.
Share with me what your clients tell you after, how they feel.
It's so different. Some cry, and I tell them, it's when they start to cry, I say, don't think about me. Do whatever you want to do. If you need to cry, you cry. But I talk with them first, and I get information. So it's not so complicated to clear emotional blockings within the chakras, more or less, if I can say so, or within the thinking, or because it's a technique to find the root, to talk with the person to find the root, even though the person is not conscious about it. It will go in the inner consciousness, why they are feeling like this, why they have this fear about this, or why they are, this or that, why they don't want to open up, or so if I trigger them to find the root, the healing is because the healing comes from them. It's
yes, it does.
It's the connection. It comes from them.
Yeah.
And
it's only them that's been blocking it from them.
Yeah, and I had the person coming from South Africa to me, and she had a very bad accident, and I took her for a treatment. Only 3 lessons. She was here only 1 week, and because I am also a personal trainer and a yoga teacher, so my speciality is to open up the person, the place between each vertebra and the neck, and because it's so important to feel good physically, so we can really go deeper spiritually. I mean, it's all about the freedom, unconditional love, confidence, and freedom. And we are not really free if we have pain in the physical body. So that is why I want to mix it together. It's so important for me. This young woman came to me. Yeah.
There's something I want to remind me afterwards, but it's about your technique that I did. But yeah, go ahead. So this young woman.
Okay. Yeah, she came to me. She couldn't move she couldn't look at her sides. She was very much afraid to go into car, and all kinds of reasons. She was so protective. And after 3 lessons, I was able to open her up. I was making her do like trick, because what I do to make people feel confident is to make them feel strong physically. It's all connected. So easily I opened up her body, and I was making her do little tricks, step by step. Of course, I had to open up her first. And she had been in a hospital, through doctors, through all kinds of tests. And afterwards, I mean, she was healing herself, even though I was giving her healing and talking and practice. And she was like, wow. And of course, priceless to me. And I got the energy back. And the thing is, we as healers, it's so common. We want to give everything for free, the healing for free. We don't feel that we should charge for it or something like that. And I'm doing videos with energy healing and that. But now I have connected with other healers, friends, and because we get tired in between, we get like drained a little bit, even though we are connected with the force to fill up our frequency and the energy, because nobody can steal our energy away, but still it's vice versa. So I get the energy from my clients when they feel good, and then I can give more. And so it's all connected. It's all connected.
And being on this subject, I'll tell the story a little bit later, but being on the subject of you need to charge for what you do because we're not on 5D right now. In 5D,
we need to eat, and we have kids. We need to feed them,
and so we chose to come from 5D here to a monetary system, where it's a monetary system. And yes, you have children. You need to eat. You pay your mortgage. You need to do these things just like anybody else.
Exactly.
And so there's nothing wrong with charging at all.
Exactly. Also,
Well, go ahead.
No, I was just going to say, yes, just to remind people that just also to give a little bit of appreciation. If we are doing open videos, if they want to give us appreciation, $2.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter. Just
it continues
to keep
process.
the energy flow. Because the energy flow. Yeah. Okay.
Because after a while, when you're giving like that and there's no flow coming back, you get that avenue will start to dry up. Because
I actually got sick. I've two times been sick because I've been working so much, giving, and didn't have like a stable income. It's just like an artist as well. Sometimes I'm selling, sometimes I'm not. But I don't have a choice. Actually, this is just taking me. And I remember the day when I offered myself to serve for service. It was almost 20 years ago. I was having my first nervous breakdown. I've had 3. So I was having my first nervous breakdown, and I thought I was going to die. I was like, how am I going to live this life? This is too difficult. I don't understand this. So I was reading, Conversation with God, and trying to tune in, to my God within, goddess within.
Yeah.
And God was listening, and use me. I had my girls then. My 2 girls, they were little, and I was, please God, I'm ready to do everything. Use me so I can help others not to go through this, because this is too much. And I'm not saying that I have went through more than anybody. Pain is a pain. It doesn't matter big or small. It's my pain. It's your pain. And so and obviously God was listening, because he took my whole arm and my whole body. And he took me to 2 other nervous breakdowns and anxiety and losing everything. And my company was stolen from me a lot of money, and I ended up with nothing. And I have had periods of not being able to buy food for many, many days. And I have experienced so much. And I'm like, okay. I'm still here. My back is white. I'm strong, but can you relax a little bit? So all good.
Yes, I've had those times too. Can you,
Yeah, yeah.
relax just a little
Can
bit?
you? Yeah, exactly.
Please. Yeah.
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 I'm, flow would be nice now. Right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
that story I wanted to tell was that I was watching your
Yeah.
video. We're talking about how to go into a state of confidence. And
Yeah.
I personally had had certain trouble with someone in my life almost all my life. Okay. There was the constant shame and guilt coming from this person constantly.
To
And
you.
yeah, to me.
This person was shaming you. Yeah. Okay.
Okay. And so I watched your video and you talked about a very simple technique is to take your arms and put them palms forward and then drop your shoulders.
Yeah, exactly.
And do you know, I did that in the presence of
Mm.
this person. I was sitting down, and so they didn't see my palms, but when I dropped my shoulders down, they stopped in mid-conversation, looked at me, and couldn't say anything else.
Yeah.
And that was such I really appreciate that you gave to all of us to be able to do, because it changes your state. And in that
This
state,
is so powerful. Yeah.
in the middle of that state of shame and guilt stuff, I did this. I just stopped and went, enough. I turned my, dropped my shoulders and looked.
Yeah.
And
exactly.
Just stopped.
Yeah.
In the middle of their speaking.
Yeah. That's what happens.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, I felt the need to share this, because it's not only for your health. And what I am teaching my students in yoga classes, and I have now for last 5 years been developing a new practice program that I want to share with the world. I'm looking for an investors. No, okay, I had to get it in, but it's not only that everyone that is able to have this confidence, because the energy is like it's exactly like you explained, energy wise. But what people see and feel, it's like, whoa, here is the respect. This respect comes, and you are in your divine state. When I say it's about the dignity as well. Dignity is your divine state.
Yes.
Relaxation with your shoulders, open heart space, confident. That is the energy of confident is in the chest. And I'm saying to the girls, it's not in the breast. Don't get implants. It's in the chest. Don't get confused. And even like I say, the monkeys are tuning up their confidence by lifting up when I say lifting up the chest, it's not exactly what happens. We integrate the shoulders. We use the shoulders to lift up the chest. And this is amazing how we can add in more years into our lives by keeping our body, our posture straight. Because these muscles here and our hip flex, they start to shrink with every year after 25, more or less. So it's very important to keep this open. And it doesn't matter how we look, what clothes we are wearing, where we are, if we are able to relax the shoulder, because the energy of stress is more or less in the shoulders, also in the solar plexus and other places. But if we are able to do that, breathe in and out, we can complete so much.
Yes.
It's magical. And thank you for sharing this with me. I'm so happy that you felt this and you did this.
It worked instantly.
Yeah.
It really did, because it changed my state within me. And then they seen that state change and they realized that this shame and guilt's not going to work anymore. That pattern's not going to work, because it was like I was source energy looking through to that person, and it was like, oh shit, right? And all of a sudden,
this is exactly what you're saying. This is source energy that goes from you, because this person doesn't perhaps not realize that she or he is putting their shame on you, because they were perhaps small children, and another that is often that people that are putting shame on others don't know
other pattern but shame and guilt.
Well, they don't know anything else, because nobody took responsibility over them and respected. Yeah. So you were showing just your divine energy, your God energy, and that is so pure. Everybody gets that. Even though you would explain everything to the person, you just, your source energy got through.
Yeah. This leads me to a question about another video that you did about empaths and narcissists, right? And yeah. What is it that these highly sensitive beings, yeah, how come do highly sensitive beings even attract these narcissists in their life?
But I'm just going to grab my water here.
Okay.
Sorry. Okay. It's because highly sensitive person is open through the heart space with the connection of the core, the universal light, and is an energy, can create energy naturally. Mm-hmm. And this the narcissist cannot do. Mm-hmm. For example, because the narcissist is more in their mind, yeah, playing mind games. So they cannot dwell in the heart space. They don't feel the empathy. They can maybe for something else, but not for the supplier that they are choosing. But they more or less cannot show empathy because they cannot dwell in the heart space. And they know this. They need this. They need. It's all about the energy. It's an energy theft. Yeah,
an energy stealing, eh?
Yeah, and empath is the mind games that the narcissist is playing is not in the imagination of the empath. So the empath or the highly sensitive being, I'm just using the word empath. We can say highly sensitive being.
Yeah, of course.
Fully respect. Doesn't realize this because this is not in their nature. Their imagination isn't in mind games. So there's an open flow, and also many very sensitive beings are so open about the freedom of expression. They don't want to change the other, this person or human. So they are. They don't perhaps leave right away, and the narcissist has a technique to keep them stuck and confused.
So that's how they isolate an empath, right, or a highly sensitive.
No, what I would say about how they isolate the empath, because they need to have full control over their energy supplier. They isolate the empath by making the empath feel very confused about everything, very confused about themselves. They scramble a little bit this vibration, so the empath start to leak. The energy starts to leak, and that is the food for the narcissist, to keep the empath confused. And the isolation comes by the empath starts to isolate themselves, but also the narcissist tries and succeeds to cut all other relationships by and he is brutal. The narcissist is brutal when he's doing
he or
this.
she. Yeah.
He or she, yeah. And I said this, yeah, he or she, of course, by telling like pure lies, and also creating some, for example, if the let's say empath and narcissist, it's shorter to say that, are together with a group of people, the narcissist creates some confusion to make the empath look confused or bad or that. So it's more easier for the narcissist to talk to the people and say, did you notice this? Something is going on, or he or she has changed, or this just opens up doors for the narcissist.
So are you saying as soon as the empath or the sensitive person starts to go into internal dialogue and starts questioning themselves, they start leaking?
Yes, with all the confusion, the energy starts to leak. I'm not saying they will, with time they drain up, but the empath is also a highly sensitive being, can fuel themselves up quickly. But if you're in a constant bad relationship, for example, like with a narcissist, you start to drain up. Mm-hmm. And also a highly sensitive person that is, for example, really connected with the energy field, when we are intimate with each other. So this was not in the video, but I recommend people to see the video. Maybe we can put a link under this conversation. But when we are connecting, when we are, for example, having sex with somebody, mm-hmm. we connect with their esoteric field. And if we are highly sensitive with energies, we connect so deeply. Mm-hmm. That is one of the reasons why empath doesn't go, because the empath has opened up, connected always, sexually, emotionally. So normally they don't go away immediately. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So any advice for people that have bumped into a narcissist or actually involved with a narcissist now?
I would like to say, if a person has realized this is not, something is going on, this is not right, nobody's talking to me anymore, or something happened,
isolation,
or isolation, if the isolation is going on, mm-hmm. if you are listening to the narcissist, or some people just pure lying, mm-hmm. about serious things or not, mm-hmm. just something is wrong. There are more, there are more reasons. I go more detail in this special video.
Yes.
But I would like to say, if you have went away, if you have moved out, if you are waiting for a closure, if you are waiting for an apology, mm-hmm. if you are waiting for an explanation why the narcissist was behaving like this, or did that, or said that, while you're waiting for this to happen, the mind game is still going on. So the relationship with the narcissist isn't over until you walk away.
Yep.
So it's very important to cut all the communication, because very often the narcissist tries to hoover the person in again. It is more difficult when you have children with narcissists. So it's important to cut all communications while you are creating boundaries. And then it is possible to have communications, because when the narcissist realizes that you have created your boundaries and they cannot cross it, you are not in this supply state. They put you in another group where they want to be adored, because they don't want you to tell them their secrets. So they even try to be very nice. So that is a different thing. And it's not common, but it's possible. So
yeah.
Also, I would like to say to people we call them flying monkeys, because the narcissist is using the energy of the empath as a supply, as a food. And the narcissist is also using the energy of the other people that the narcissist can use as a, to play this game, to tell all the lies and to control. He uses their energy for he or she, I'm just saying him, the narcissist. So he or she is using their energy for selfish, egoist reason, to fill up the ego. And that is the fuel for the ego.
So you'll notice that the narcissist goes around to all your friends and starts saying things like you're crazy or you're.
So exactly.
People,
and
they have
to isolate.
They have to have
so
everybody
we need
else on their page.
Exactly. And narcissist is normally so mind focused that they are very clever people. They are, for example, in business and whatever they want to do, they are normally very clever. And because we say covered narcissist, is because nobody knows who is a narcissist, more or less, and just their victim. So what we can do to help each other to be more awake is, for example, let's say a friend, and he or she is the narcissist, is telling you that his man or woman is crazy, is behaving strangely or something like that.
Yeah.
And you know the person, for example, and the narcissist is trying to cut the relationship. We should always have all the communication openly. It doesn't matter if you're trying to spot the narcissist. It doesn't matter. If a person is telling you something about other people that might be in your family, or you might not even know it, and they say, "This is a secret. Don't tell her or him. I'm telling you this, or I'm very worried. Don't say. Keep it a secret." You say, "Hey, I prefer to talk openly about everything like this. So I want to talk with the person myself. I am not going to keep anything like this. I want to have everything openly."
Yeah.
So that then we can avoid. Of course, we need to use our intuition, but more or less, so many misunderstanding is fixed by direct communication. We don't need the third person. Just be open, direct, and without insulting somebody. You can say, "Hey," even though you know that the person is a narcissist, or person is a violent or something like that, we can always be open and say, "Okay, I'm against this behavior. I'm against the violence. I love you. You're my something, but I don't want communication until this changes," or something like that. We need to be more clear.
So now we have all sorts of people watching this interview, and I'm sure that there's narcissists watching this video.
Yeah.
Male and female. And if they suspect that maybe they have been a narcissist in their life, what do we do to help them?
I would say rarely a narcissist stops to be a narcissist. Narcissist doesn't change. So I would not say they might have been a narcissist, because then they are narcissists. There is some kind of narcissist behavior that we might all have once in a while, once in a life, two times in a life, by not, for example, listening to others and being very how can I say it in English? Within ourselves, within our worries, within our and we are not listening to others. That is, for example, one of the So I mean that might be a narcissist behavior. I'm just talking lightly.
Yes,
so it's very common that a person that has been in a relationship with a narcissist doubts her or himself. It's very, very common, because we all, if we want to higher our frequency, just like a normal person, you want to take responsibility of what you do, of who you are, what you said. Was it my fault? Could I do something better? Was I there really for the person? Is it perhaps my fault? Did I trigger this? Am I behaving myself? This is normal. So we start to doubt ourselves. But we can always, am I lying? No, I'm not lying. You can also find it out right away. Am I telling lies about somebody? Do I need to have fully control over somebody?
Yes.
I mean, it's easy also to feel no.
And then they can get their own indicators that, hey, maybe I'm being narcissistic here, right? If they see it and they go, wow, I'm controlling her friends as well, or his friends, as well as.
I would say, I would perhaps take it another way, because for me, it's very clear that narcissist doesn't realize what he's doing. This is a disorder. But we could feel like we have similar behavior as a narcissist behavior in a short period of time. Or if you are a very controlling person, we could say, hey, you're very jealous. You're crazy jealous. You're a very jealous person, because a jealous person wants to control. They want to know everything. So a similar way than a narcissist, even though this jealous person is not a narcissist.
So really, we've all been through different stages of that at some point. So that can happen to any of us, really, to step into that behavior, even till we self-check and then we change it. Why I'm asking you that is because the amount of narcissists that are out there, supposedly, be nice to have something for them to actually say, you know what, I would like to heal this in me. I'm tired of being alone. I'm tired of, because once they get there and they're controlling that person, everything, they still don't feel love, because they don't know whether it was because of love from that they love, or it was because they controlled the love and made it it's out of fear. So they never feel truly loved. So if there's a narcissist out there, and people that believe that they could be narcissistic, there is something for them too, right?
Well, it must be. I would say
we would look at
if you can really dwell in self-love and appreciation, that is a big sign that you are not a narcissist.
Right.
If you can really relax and feel good with full appreciation about yourself, and let go of trying to control everything, that you need to,
that you need to control love.
I mean, the base is fear, the base is shame and fear.
Yes.
And and wrong beliefs about how life works. But still, we are humans with organs, and brain is one of our organs, and we can be sick. We can be sick everywhere. So this is maybe unplugged. I'm not a doctor, but a narcissist is different with everyone.
Mm-hmm.
So he has a one person, more or less, that is his supplier. But outside, the narcissist doesn't have this behavior. But I guess the narcissist knows something is wrong. They must know that they are different. They must know.
Yes, of course they do. Because they know that the love that they're feeding off of is controlled. It's not of free will. So of course they know they're wrong.
And I mean, this is
And
all
I
about
would
addiction.
I would make a suggestion, because it's got to do with shame. It's got to do with stuff in the past that has turned them into this person that needs to control love, that needs to, they're so afraid to open up, right? They don't want to open up.
Dwell in themselves.
Yeah, definitely. If you're walking around and you're always right and everyone's always wrong, that's a good indication, right? Isn't it? That you're a narcissist?
Yes, exactly. Or make it's about this game. It's about to make the other person feel bad about themselves, because the narcissist feels not good. The narcissist doesn't feel good about himself. So he needs a supplier that he makes, in the end, feel so bad about themselves, so they can lift themselves up.
Now, yes, exactly. That's exactly how it is. Now, that's with it pointed this way. I would like to suggest, and I'm sure you would too, anyone that's out there that's suspecting right now by us talking about this that you possibly could be a narcissist, turn that from other people to straight up to source energy and pull your energy from source directly into you. Feed from source. What do you think about that?
Yeah, this is a form of addiction.
Mm-hmm.
So I am tuning in also my energies, and so if a person wants to relax a little bit with us, this is a form of addiction, also to be addicted to control and to make the other person be addicted to be controlled by making them confused. I did another video also about connection is the opposite of addiction. And this is one of those matters that if you are not connected with the heart space, with yourself, with the force, if you are addicted to somebody, it's very difficult to have this connection, and that is a talk for another episode, I guess. About how energies, suckers, are using the force of highly sensitive beings, artists, singers, writers, musicians that are very creative and can very easily create the source energy with their art form, with their creation, because we can all create, but some people choose not to do it, and some people cannot handle it, are just always creating. And negative energies, they feed on those people by making them addicted to somebody, addicted to something, alcohol, drugs, and all kind of eating disorders, all kinds of that takes their mind from the creation that is in the heart space.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
So, I mean, everything is possible. Everything is possible. Everything is connected. And if we have some kind of addiction, we need to face it, be open for it, and love it in a way, and try to find ways to be free.
I'm so in agreement with you on this, that all addiction is a lack of connection. Because I've done so much work with that for people in addiction. And they just, people that have been in AA for years, and they finally get away from AA too, because they connect to source energy and stop.
I feel put so many positive feelings towards people that have any kind of addiction, just by explaining this, that there are all kinds of energies, good and bad, and this is not from human to human necessary, like with the narcissist and empath. There are other energies in the esoteric field that comes from other places than from another human. So it's also another episode with us. But when a person understands how important and beautiful and creative and genius they are, let's say they are singers, writers, musicians, artists in any way, creator,
creation,
and somebody is taking, and they realize this is not me, something is paralyzing me, because those energies want to keep this genius, this artist genius, paralyzed. And how do they do that? By making them addicted to something, food, drugs, alcohol, or something, some kind of behavior, so they cannot do their creation work, because that is the leak. They are feeding on their creation.
I'm going to add as well, therapy and shadow work, because there's people right now that are addicted to it and they're not moving through it. They're just stuck in it. And they're going around and around in circle because we're supposed to get this done and then move on and actually create, not stay forever in.
Well, I've been also, I was writing about reality and manifestation, and to be able to move from something, we need to change our reality towards it, because reality is in the esoteric field, but our situation is right now. So we can be trapped so easily and be manifesting this situation because they're stuck in this.
Right.
And while you are stuck, while you feel bad, while you are sick, while you are afraid, it's normal, we are humans, to think about it. And while we are thinking about it, most of the time, we are manifesting it to stay longer, even though we would for 2-3 hours manifest in meditation in a different way. We are manifesting what we want, this car or house or this or that, and that is very possible that we are manifesting. But when we are stuck in other situations between the manifestation, we can create blockings about good things happen, and we are like, why haven't I been able to manifest this? Because I know how to manifest. And when we realize it's because you don't allow yourself to change the reality, because you're stuck in this situation. So it's very important for people to know, even though you're stuck in a shitty situation, in a black hole, you are allowed to change your reality and manifest.
Like that.
You don't have to wait. You don't have to wait to feel better, to be in a better place. And like I'm saying to people, I know it's difficult not to think about if you're sick or something like that. But try a little bit more to take that aside and think about what you want to manifest, or just something else, just the flowers or whatever. Try as much to trigger yourself to stop to think about it, even though you're not in a la wonderland and you have to face some kind of treatment. If you're sick, it's normal. You have to focus on that to get rid of, to heal yourself if it's that serious. So try as much as possible to think about something else.
The reason people are sick is because they focus on it. If they were to focus on the health and the relief of it, they wouldn't be sick. Because they're manifesting everything. This is the thing that fear does to people. Fear puts them into a spiral, a downward spiral of actually manifesting the opposite of what they want. But if they were to just stop and focus on what they do want, I want to feel relief from this. I want to feel joy from this. I want to see the doctor's face when they look at me and say, it's gone. Can't believe it. It's a miracle. If they start focusing on that rather than the other stuff, they would be free of it.
Yeah. Well, for me is, if I may say, what I feel about this is that I don't feel like we create all the illnesses by manifesting them, because that is not helping anybody that is sick with cancer, for example. We cannot say, hey, you created this because you felt you weren't worth it to be healthy or something like that. I don't work like that in my healing. But what I try to explain is sometimes something happens in the environment through the food. Number one, it's the food that creates, it's emotional blockings that create, not that we necessarily manifested it. It's possible, but I don't say that to people, because it is worse, because the person is going to blame, the person is going to go into state of blame and shame, and I don't want that. So what I try to explain more is to manifest you away from the state that happened, and why you're here is not because you manifested it necessary. There are many other reasons. The thing is the food. Well, our belief system, the belief system of our parents, the school system, is false in a way. The food is killing us.
The other energies that are working against, yes, all of it.
Yeah, and I feel like my connection with...
In our true nature, we can manifest it all. What I don't know if you misunderstood me, but when it comes to manifesting the relief of it, I wasn't talking about blaming them that they manifested the cancer. That wasn't my intent.
I just wanted
manifesting the relief, manifesting the
exactly,
freedom. Because one of the things that they did steal from us and tried to steal from us is our imagination. And so people are sitting there wanting you to do it for them, or wanting whatever, because they blocked the imagination. As soon as you have your imagination on what you want in life, how you want to feel, how you want to be, then the body works fine. That greater being in you knows how to heal you.
Yes, exactly. And we need to realize that it's equally easy to manifest bad and good things. So it's so important to be able to, I'm not a specialist, but I do my best to shift my focus from negative. But I mean, I'm a Scorpio. I go deep, and I can dive deep without losing my happiness, if I can say. So I feel like I can face things, but still I can shift. Yeah. Many people cannot do that. They want to ignore if somebody is sick, or for example, if in the Christmas time, people don't want to hear about something negative or something like that. I don't feel that is right to do. because we cannot ignore what is going on. For example, for a child that is abused at home, and all of a sudden everybody's happy, and because it's Christmas, and I don't know. I don't know. It's more complicated.
I didn't realize. I didn't realize you were a Scorpio as well.
Are you Scorpio?
Yeah, I was born November 11th. Yes.
I'm the 30th of October. Yeah. So that is why we can face everything and show empathy. Okay, this is going on. There is Christmas time. Children are abused. Men and women are abused. Somebody is with a narcissist. They are not going to stop even though it's Christmas Eve.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
We know this, and by recognizing this, by seeing this, we are supporting the victims. But if we are ignoring that and we are saying we don't want to know anything horrible going on because I need to keep my Christmas spirit, what is that? I mean, we can see this and recognize this and still keep our Christmas spirit.
Mm-hmm.
We are stronger than this.
No.
We don't have to ignore. We are stronger.
Because we don't have an imagination of what it would be like on the other side of it once these people recognize what they're doing and heal. We can't see that. So we just think, people often just think the abandonment at the moment. If I bring this up, it's going to create havoc in the whole family unit. But they don't see
normally, and normally that does. That does, because we don't believe in our strength.
Yeah.
And what is going on in behind closed doors in homes, it's personal. I mean, what can we do?
Mm-hmm.
And that is a whole different area as well.
Yes.
Yeah. We can talk for hours, probably.
Thank you so much for being on the show. Did we cover everything that you felt you wanted to cover today? Is there anything else that you'd like to share?
I feel good and relaxed and just let it be as it is. I think it's just perfect as it is, in all the imperfection.
Yes, exactly.
So I'm really honored.
I am
really
too.
Honored for our conversation, and hopefully we'll do it again. And thank you so much.
You're so welcome. You're so welcome. And yes, we'll do it again. I like I say, for everybody to go to YouTube. The links will be underneath the video here. Go to YouTube, check out her YouTube channel. She also, I'm going to be posting them, has different Facebook channels, one for her art, one for her work that she does, healing work that she does. I'll be posting those as well, so that you can get in touch with Kolbrun. All right. Well, thank you again, and we'll talk again soon.
Thank you so much.
Bye for now.